Do you want to grow your jewelry brand but don't know how? In this video, we're going to talk about what does growing your jewelry brand even mean and actually how to do it. So let's start with what does growing your jewelry brand even mean? So essentially what we want to be looking for is number one, get more customers, right? Number two is get them to pay high prices for your jewelry because they are premium jewelry, right? It's a premium brand. Getting more customers, get customers to pay higher prices. And then number three is get customers to come back again and again. So essentially, this is what we want. We want a bunch of people, a bunch of lead flow, basically, inflow of new customers walking into your shop. We want them to pay extremely high prices for your jewelry so that you can have high margins on your product. And then we want the same customers to come back again and again. Essentially, this is the flywheel of what we want and how to actually grow our brand. Next question is basically, how do we even do that? Right? How do we even grow our brand? So the answer here is at the most basic level, if you want to grow your business, you're going to have to market more. You're going to have to generate more attention, right? The way I have seen, the way I have seen we can do this the fastest is advertising on Facebook and on Instagram. So the reason we advertise on Facebook and Instagram and not on Google is that Google has a couple of problems. So number one, you're advertising to a very small pool of people. And for that very small pool of people, you're competing against. You're competing against other business for the same keywords for a very small amount of people, right? Number one. Number two, pay-per-click ads are very, very expensive. Number three is that you don't get to be able to advertise to an enormous amount of people all over your local area. You're just advertising to the people who are searching at that point in time in the search bar of Google your products, right? So it's very, very limited. On the other hand, on Facebook, you will be able to target basically every single person in your local area and frankly in your city, right? So that is what basically gives Facebook just a complete upper hand. And honestly, Facebook is just king when it comes to advertising. So what are we going to go through for Facebook is number one, the system. So the process of making ads is pretty simple. So number one, we are going to use organic content. We're going to use organic content, our own organic content, just to test hooks, right? Is testing. The reason we want to use organic content to test hooks and not to paid advertisement directly to test hooks is that why would we want to spend money on testing? We can just test freely and then just run the winners, right? We need winning ads, ads that are really, really good. That's why we test. We discard the losers. We don't run the losers as Facebook ads. And the winners, the ones that did really, really well on organic content. So yeah, Instagram posts, Facebook posts, TikTok posts, those we're going to grab and then we're going to run them and we're going to put money behind those posts, basically. Run them as ads, right? So we want to test organic content. And then number two is the winning ones we're going to run, obviously. Now, how do we test this? Is that organic content, I have seen that organic content that performs well on ads normally have three different elements. So number one is saves, right? So if you have a post, if you have a reel, a carousel of images, whatever banner ads, right, that you posted on your Instagram profile, for example, and they have a lot of saves, that specific post has a lot of sales. We have seen that that kind of means that people want to buy your stuff. They just don't want to buy right now, obviously, right? They don't want to click on it right now, call you right now, go walk into your shop right now, obviously. Right? So saves is a very good indicator of something that will perform very well on advertising. Metric number two is shares. Shares normally indicate that people are seeing your stuff and they are saying, oh, this is something that I know a person that will love this stuff, right? Or I would love that my husband buys me this stuff, or I would love that my wife buy or whatever, right? So we have seen that I always say we, I have seen that these are two very good key performance indicators, KPIs, for running ads and testing on organic. Number three is conversions. So conversions is when an organic post actually turned someone from a complete stranger into a buyer. So basically that post generated you money, right? So for example, someone saw your post, DM'd you, walked into your shop, became a customer, right? So these are the three basically KPIs, key performance indicators, metrics, data, numbers, percentages, whatever you want to call it, right? That we want to look for on organic content, right? So uh, things to do on organic content is post 30 times per week, the first week, right? And every time you post, have a different hook, right? We want to have a different hook so that we can actually test hooks. That's all what we are testing with, hooks. A hooks is basically the first 2 seconds of the ad. These headphones will kill you, right? That's a hook, right? We can have visual hooks. We can have written hooks. Obviously, we want to have visual hooks because jewelry is a very visual industry, right? Obviously. So we want to have visual hooks. But yeah. And by the way, they can be super simple. They can be recorded or taken photos with your cell phone. That they work perfectly fine. You don't have to have high produced stuff at all. In fact, they work shittier than high produced, right? Anyway, we're going to grab the winners. So let's say out of these 30, we have one that performed very well or better than the rest. And then we are going to run that as a Facebook ad. And then what we are going to do is after 1 week, right, we are going to see all the ads. We're going to have, let's say, by the way, we are going to replicate those ads, right? So let's say we take one post, we're going to make that into 30 ads, right? Ads. And all of these, like, so let's say times 30, let's say 28 of them perform less than the two ones that are the winners. So let's say 28 of them out of these 30, 28% don't perform that well, but two of them perform very well. Now, normally what people will go is, I run 30 ads and 28% or 28 of them just failed. They didn't give me anything. But more experienced advertisers will go, oh my God, we got our winners, right? And then this will do exactly the same as we did here, replicate the 30. We'll grab those two and make 30 ads out of them as well. And then in the next try, not, let's say 10 of them will work, right? 10 of them will work and then 20 won't. And then the next try, 20 will work and then 10 won't. And then the next time, 25 will work and then 5 won't, right? Like we are just going to get better and better and better and better with time. This is the system. This is the process of how to make Facebook ads work and get a bunch of customers to your business. Grow your jewelry brand. This is what the system, right? So next up is actually the Facebook course. So I'm going to teach you exactly how to place a Facebook ad. I'm going to show you how you right now watching this video as a jewelry brand owner, as a jewelry shop owner, as a jewelry business owner, can go into your Facebook and place an ad, right? That's it. So first is the structure of the ad, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to use something called instant form, right? That's basically where you run an ad and instead of sending them to a website, a checkout page, whatever you do, you send them to a contact form, right? So let's say this is the ad. Or, sorry, let me just, yeah. All right. So let's say this is the ad that people are seeing. They click the ad, right? And then they go to a contact form. This contact form will have their name, their last name, their email address, and their phone number, right? Because we are going to want to SMS them, send them a message through WhatsApp and call them. And then we also want to email them. We want to do that so that we can get a hold of them and then get them to walk into our shop. That's the whole point of this, getting customers, obviously. So that's the process that we are going to go through. It's super simple, all right? Now, the thing is that we have to understand one very, very important thing, which is the columns, right? Which is this part, right? This entire part of basically the ads manager, right? We are in the ads manager, by the way. You can go to your Facebook and on the sidebar, you just click on Ads Manager, right? And then this is the columns. So all of this is just data. You are just collecting information on your ads. That's it. There's no reason to be scared, right? The why I say there's no reason to be scared because when I came here 2.5 years ago, and I started learning about Facebook ads, specifically Meta ads, I got petrified when I saw this. It was full of words, and whenever you look, you hover on them, another thing appears, and then there are arrows down, there are arrows up. You don't know where to click. There are a bunch of icons. What does CTR mean? CTR. What the hell does that mean? I don't know. All right. So don't get scared. It's just data. It's just knowing what to track. Obviously, you don't want to really be running Facebook ads and spending a bunch of money to get customers and not knowing which one works, which one doesn't. That's it. That's the whole point of these columns is to which is a good ad, which is a shit ad. That's it. All right. So a brief little overview on columns. What you want to do in columns is here you see columns, right? So this is the columns, but here you see columns, copy of performance. You're going to click that. You're going to click it. You're going to forget this. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Nothing of this matters, except if you scroll down, you'll see here, customize column. It's a little button here at the end. You're going to click that button, all right? Give it a second, click the button, and now you'll be able to customize your column. We, as Goldsmith shop owners, as jewelry shop owners, we will be able to choose what stats do we want to track. That's it. What do we want to track about our ad? All right. What do we want to know? Right. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go through with this. I'm gonna go with you through this, and we're just gonna go step by step. Right. Don't worry about anything. Just click what I click. All right. So here we have 8 columns selected. Don't worry what that means. All right. But anyway, you can see here the name. So you have a campaign, you have delivery, you have leads, you have cost per results, you have CTR, click through rate of this ad. Don't worry, I'll explain. Amount spent. All right, amount spent. How much did we spend on the ad? Right? That's pretty. Impressions. How many people saw the ad? How many people did we put our ad in front of? Right? Impressions. That's impressions. Reach, another thing, right? But anyway, what we want is campaign, delivery, leads, cost per result. Leads are people who see our ad and give us their contact info so that we can sell them our jewelry, right? Cost per result, cost per every lead. How much did we pay for every person that gave us their contact, their contact info? Click-through rate. Click-through rate is how many people saw our ad and what percentage of those people clicked it. So, for example, let's say, right, 100 people saw our ad, but just 2 people clicked on our ad. So we will have a 2% click-through rate. All right, it's pretty simple. We want to know this stat, by the way, because this stat gives us a good indicator whether or not our ad is good. The photo is good. The video is good. So for example, if you have a click-through rate that is under 1.50%, let's say it's under 1.50%, that's a bad ad. All right. If you have an ad that's above 1.50%, that's an okay ad. If you have an ad of 2%, that's a very good ad. Above that, incredible ad. All right. So that's kind of the stats. All right. That's the measuring stick. All right. So what we're going to do is to be able to do all of this, the only thing you're going to do is go here to the search bar and you're going to click, first of all, delivery. So you're going to write delivery, right? I already have this selected, but you're going to go and select this. All right. You're just going to click on the check mark. And then you're going to do exactly the same for all of these. So leads, you're going to go here, you're going to click on leads, and then you're going to click check mark on leads. And then you're going to write cost, oh, cost per results. You're going to click on cost per result. You can also click cost per lead. That's the same thing, right? Cost per result and cost per lead, same thing. And then, or at least same thing for instant forms. Just do instant forms for this video, just in instant forms, right? Cost per result, and then click-through rate, and then amount spent, and then impressions, and then reach. And then after you go through all of them, you're going to order it this way. So for example, here in this bar, you can see the small little dots on the sidebar here, right? And then what you're going to do with your mouse, right? With your mouse, you're going to click on it. You're not going to let go. You're going to click on it, and then you're going to move them around, right? And you're going to move them around in this order: campaign, delivery, leads, cost per result, click-through rate, amount spent, impressions, and reach. All right. We don't need to talk more about this. It's not important. It will track everything. All right. Click save and then forget about it. All right. Now what we are going to do is the fun stuff. We're going to click create ad, this green little button here. And we're going to click create. And then we're going to scroll down and click on leads. Forget about everything else. Absolutely everything else. Click on leads. Then click continue. Right? And then they are going to, Facebook is basically going to throw us into this. Now, here, I don't know if you can see it. Maybe the screen has cut off this. But here we basically have three different, let's say, levels of the ad. Right? So we have one level, which is this, which is the campaign. Right? This is a campaign. Here in campaign, we will be handling the budget of our ads, right? We are going to be handling the money, right? In the second level of our ads is called ad set, right? We have ad set. This is here, ad set, right? Ad set, we are going to be handling two things. One, the targeting, who is going to see our ad, and the placements, or plus placements, plus pay. Where are those people who are going to see our ad? Where? All right. And then the really fun stuff, the ad, right? This is actually making the image, or not making them, but uploading the image, uploading the headline, the copy, everything, right? This is building of the ad. This is the fun stuff. All right. So we have campaign. I'm not going to go through the name because it's boring. I'm not going to go through the name because naming conventions, there are many, many naming conventions. I go through this in the school community. It's not important for this video, right? And then here in the budget, right? Here it says ad set budget or campaign budget, right? And then that's it. We want to set our budget in campaign budget. We don't want to set our budget in ad set budget, right? Campaign budget. We're going to set our budget, whatever you're spending. Now, by the way, this, so Facebook, when you start advertising, so I hope some of you have advertised in your life, but let's say you haven't, right? Facebook will limit you to a certain amount, right? Whether or not you have different sort of accounts and stuff like that, it will the more you spend and the more ads you actually put, it will increase your limits. So don't worry. Start low, start testing, and then it will increase and we'll be able to run ads. All right. So here, for example, you can schedule, you can increase your budget during specific days or times, but I would just let this be. All right. So highest volume. Yeah. We'll keep this at highest volume. All right. We'll keep everything basically how it is. All right. Then scroll down. You need nothing here. Click next. Then do you guys remember I said there are levels to the ad? This is the ad set. This is the second level of the ad. This is where we will handle the targeting, who will see our ad, and the placements, where will they see them, right? Here in the conversion thing, always have instant forms, right? Don't have website, don't have Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp calls, app, nothing. Just instant forms. Now, you can run ads on all of these, but for the sake of this video, the easiest, the fastest, the most repeatable thing ever, instant forms. Don't think about anything else, right? So we have instant forms. You're going to connect your page here, all right? You're going to leave everything like it is. You're going to keep on going. A catalog, keep on going. Budget, we are not setting our budget here. So forget about this. Forget about it. All right. Anyway, now we are in audience, right? We are in audience. Now what we are going to do is not use Advantage Plus or Advantage Plus. Whenever you see this Advantage Plus here on Facebook, that's just Facebook saying, please use my AI. Hey, please use my AI. We don't want to use your AI. Your AI is crap. So what we are going to do is we're going to make our own audience, right? Now we are not going to go crazy on this. We're just going to go very simple location targeting, all right? So what we are going to do is you see all of this audience, set up your audience using controls and suggestions about audience. Oh my God, there's an article here. And then you have a drop down and then controls. We won't reach people beyond this set. Advantage plus on. Oh my God, so locations. Then we have show more control. Like Facebook just tries to kill you with this. For some reason, they don't really want to make it very user friendly. So they just keep adding stuff instead of taking out stuff. But you will learn, all right? Don't get scared. I used to get scared. Don't get scared. We'll go click by click. You just have to click, right? So we have controls here, all right? What we are going to do is here we have locations, right? This is important because we are local jewelry shops, local goldsmith shops. So we have to use this because this is the biggest advantage that we will have, all right? You don't want to have a local shop in the city center of Stockholm and have your ad being shown in Sydney, obviously, right? So we want to target. So what we are going to do is here on the search bar. So we have locations. What we are going to click here is if we just click locations, there's a drop down. Something will drop down. All right, great. Then what we'll do is here on the search bar that says search locations, we'll click on it and search our place. So let's say Stockholm, right? Let's say Stockholm. I am from Stockholm, so we'll say Stockholm, right? You obviously do wherever your shop is, right? I'll click X here, I believe. And then here, what we want to do is, I don't think we want our advertisement to be 20 miles outside the city center, circular 20 miles, right? We don't want that, all right? This is the middle of the sea. I mean, come on, right? So what we're going to do is click this drop down here. We're going to click it. And then here is going to let us reduce the radius, right? Just reduce it, right? To 10 miles. That's the minimum for some reason, right? But that's the minimum. We have 10 miles here, all right? Now, we can also drop a pin, right? So we can drop a pin, just click drop a pin and place it somewhere. Bim, there. We can also do that. But yeah, so we can do that. There are a bunch of things we can do, right? Now, if you made a mistake, for example, in dropping a pin, just go up here and click X. And then it will delete the pin drop. All right. It's easy to use. Don't worry about it. Right? Now, if, for example, you have all of this place but you don't want to be advertising in all of these places. You just want to advertise in most of these places, but you don't want to advertise everywhere. Then you're going to click here that says include, but you're going to click the drop down. Click it. Then here it says include and then exclude. Click exclude. And then you're going to type in whatever location, whatever neighborhood, whatever place in the city that you don't want your ads to run. All right. So, for example, for Stockholm, most likely we wouldn't want to, for anyone who's a goldsmith in Stockholm, jewelry shop owner in Stockholm, we wouldn't want to advertise in a place called Rinkeby, right? We wouldn't want to advertise in that neighborhood. All right. So we'll click on that neighborhood and you will see here an X, basically a pin, right? And basically this will make sure that your ads are not shown in that place. All right. And you can do this many places. All right. You could just keep going. You could also, like, for example, drop a pin here, right? You just drop a pin there, and then you can just reduce the miles, right? Right. So you can do a bunch of stuff there, right? So let's say whole of Rinkeby, we don't want it to show our ads. There we go. It won't show our ads there, right? So let's click on the drop up so we don't see the location anymore. All right, so here we can see all the things that we have done. So inclusion, Sweden, Stockholm, 10 miles from the city center, Stockholm County. Exclusions, excuse me. So basically we excluded Rinkeby or whatever place we wanted to exclude. All right. Then we have minimum age. So let's say, for example, we haven't sold any product to anyone below 25 years old, right? So our minimum age should be 25. No one below 25 should see our ad, all right? A custom audience, forget about this, useless, don't click it, don't think about it. Languages, I would suggest don't think about it, useless, don't think about it, all right? What we are going to do is here, it says show more or show suggestions. They are not suggestions. They are actually pretty important stuff. So you're going to click it. Boom. And then it's going to drop down. And then here is going to say age. So from what age to what age? Yes, I know it already said minimum age, but it didn't say all the age you want. Like, this is the complete version, right? So you can go 25 to 60 plus. You can go 25 to 60. You can go from 40 to 65 plus. You can do whatever you want here. It depends on your customer base. All right. It depends on who has actually bought from you, right? In the past, who are your customers, right? It depends on that. And then gender, very important. All right. You have no idea how many jewelry shop owners and goldsmith shop owners put all genders. This is a mistake. Not because you shouldn't advertise to all genders, but because you have to separate the ads between genders. Because ads that are for both genders perform significantly worse than the ads that are just made for one gender in specific. Now, let's say you just want to advertise for women. Then okay, great. Click on women. Don't click on men. Let's say you just want to advertise for guys. Then you just click for the dudes, right? For the men. But let's say you actually want to advertise for both. Then don't do this. Don't click all. What you want to do is go to ad set and create another ad set, a completely different ad set, not a complete different campaign, a completely different ad set, right? You can do this by just clicking this and then clicking duplicate, right? And then here and then in one ad set, you will have men. And then in the other asset, you will have women. All right. Very important. So for now, let's just click on women, right? And then detailed targeting, all demographics, interests, and behavior. I would highly suggest you stay away from this, not because it's not great and is really good at targeting, but right now, with how Facebook has evolved, we don't really want to be tinkering with this. Just leave it. I would suggest you should just leave it. All right. Then you will click on save audience here, right? You'll save audience, you will click OK. And then here, you'll be able to say use a saved audience. Now, I already have a saved audience. So I'm just going to click say audience one, right? And then it's going to upload and it's basically the same thing that I just showed you, right? Sweden, exclusion, Rinkeby, minimum age 25, age 25 to 45, gender female, nothing else. So do you guys remember that I said in the ad set we would do targeting plus placements? This is the targeting. We just finished targeting. Yay, right? Now, what we are going to do is we're going to go to placements. So this advertiser thing, you're going to have to upload a privacy policy, whatever you have in your website. Here, basically, you're just going to click yourself, right? It's going to give you a drop down and you're just going to click your page. No problem there. And then we have placements. So what we want to do is edit. So what we're going to do is click on edit placement controls. First thing you're going to do. We are going to make sure. Now, by the way, if you just don't see this at the beginning, you will see this. right? And review changes, cancel, where's all this stuff? You just click on this toggle on button, boom, and then this will appear. What we want, click this, click this, click this, and click this. We want all of them off, right? We don't want them on. We want them off, right? And then click this up button so that it doesn't bother us. And then here, show more settings, right? And then here is basically the juicy stuff, right? Here it says device and operating systems. Don't touch that. Platforms and Instagram. Don't touch that. Skippable ads. Don't touch that. Placement controls. Touch it. Touch it a lot. All right. Now, what we gonna want to do is we want to click out with this one, out with that one. All right. We just want feeds, stories, statuses, and reels. That's it. All right. And here we can click this drop down button. And what we are going to do is Facebook feed, keep it on. Facebook profile feed, off. Facebook Instagram feed, on. Facebook profile feed, off. Then we want, click this button to drop it up so that it doesn't bother us. Then stories and status. Instagram stories on. Facebook stories on. Messaging stories off, obviously. Instagram reels on. Facebook reels on. That's it. That's all we want. All right. That's it. That's all we have to do. All right. Now we're going to scroll down, see that everything is good. And then we're going to click here next. All right. And now we are really, really into the juicy, good, nice stuff of the ad. We are in the ad, right? So we had, you guys remember, campaign, where we handle the money, ad set, where we handle the targeting plus the placement. That's done. And now we have the ad, right? So this is the ad. This is the fun, big, juicy stuff. So you guys here, ad, right? Partnership ad off, unless you're actually partnering with that, but off most of the time. Facebook page, have your Facebook page. Instagram profile, have your Instagram profile. If you don't have an Instagram profile, but you want to run ads on Instagram, that's fine. You can still run ads on here. It won't be you could just have a Facebook page and nothing on Instagram, not even an account on Instagram, and it'll still run on Instagram. Don't worry. All right. Keep it like that. And then we have ad. All right. Here we have ad setup. Import. Click this. Here we want to put single image or video. And if you have a carousel ad, do you guys remember that we said here we want organic content? So for example, you can have reel, or let me write reel. I think you write it right. All right. Reel. You can have image. You can have banner. And you can have carousel, right? So here it gives you the option of image or video, banner, image or video, or a carousel, right? For this video, I'm just going to click single image. That's fine. Here in multi advertisers, click off. We don't want that. And by the way, this campaign score, don't worry about it. This is just Facebook trying to scare you into using their AI. So don't forget about this, right? Forget about destination. Where do we want them to go? So do you guys remember that I told you guys that we will place an ad and then send all those people not to a website, not to an app, not to Messenger, not to WhatsApp, not to anywhere else except a contact form where they fill in their name, last name, email, and phone number? Right. So here's where we make that contact form, right? So here you will basically say create instant form, and you will go through the steps of creating an instant forms. Now, I have already created one, but I'll just show you what it looks like. Again, don't worry, it's just step by step. All right. Destination. You'll click here, destination. And this is my instant forms. All right. So this is where is it? Yeah, there we go. Hey. All right. So this is basically what they will see. Right. They will see that they have to fill in their first name, their last name, always separate, their phone number, and then their email address. Now, honestly, what you want is that you want the email address above the phone number. All right. Just do that. You can drag and drop this with your mouse. Just click it, move it, click it, move it. It's like a game. Don't worry. All right. So that's basically what you want to do. And you can click create instant form and create your instant form, right? Keep on going. And then here, when it says follow up with leads, here is an interesting thing. So there are two ways that you can do this, or actually there are many, many ways you can do this. So, but the two ways that I have done the most and is very, very simple is one, after they give you their contact info, sadly, Facebook for some reason doesn't notify you itself. You have to send the lead somewhere, and that somewhere can notify you. For some reason, Facebook is just stupid. But what I don't know if you guys know the word CRM, but it's basically where you can keep a list of all your leads, right? And do a bunch of stuff, email and all this stuff. But that doesn't matter. You just keep your leads name, last name, email address, and phone number, all of that. And it's very orderly, right? You can do that. So you can go to Google, click CRM. Let me just do that for you. Okay. You can just go to Google and click CRMs. You can just go CRM, and it's a customer relations manager software. It's just a software. It's just a website. All right. So we have HubSpot, Salesforce, Pipedrive, Zoho. We have an enormous amount of CRMs, right? We have Brevo, whatever. But those CRMs, once you have an account there, you'll basically just be able to click connect to Facebook ads. And then you'll be able to connect your instant forms that you have created here, and you'll be able to connect it to your CRM, right? Another way is to just click setup here and have it set up on a Google Sheet. You can create a Google Sheet. You can just go to Google, create a Google Sheet, and then connect that Google Sheet to Facebook. And then in that Google Sheet, your leads, every time a lead comes in, a lead will go into your Google Sheet. And then, yeah, that that's basically what will happen. And then you can connect, and then you can just get notified when they come into your Google Sheet. Now, there's automation for that. Again, we teach that in our course, but for now, you could just connect it to Google Sheets, have your leads there, everything fine. You can also connect it to a CRM. It's fine. It's super simple. It's just clicks, right? So that's the setup, right? And then here, now is the fun part, all right? Now we build the fun part. Add creative. So this is basically what we are here for, right? All of the things that we have done, everything in this video has just been made so that we can come to this part. We can make the ad, right? So set up creative, image ad, if you have an image ad, right? Now, obviously you will run the ad that you have made. Again, we have an enormous amount of not only videos, but trainings on that. I'm just going to show you how to upload one. All right. So you click here on upload, and then it will send you to your computer. And then you will be able to upload wherever you have your ads. All right. Now, I already have my ads here, but I'm just going to click on one of them and then click next. Right. And then once you upload it, it will give you basically to this place. Right? Click on next. And then here you will have your primary text, headline, description, and call to action, the CTA. Now, call to action, just click on learn more. And then here in the primary text, I'll show you what to do. So let's go to school, classroom, trainings, lead gen, copy. Click on copy. Click on Goldsmith ads. Copy this, copy, and go paste it. Boom. Headline, copy, paste. Oh, sorry. Copy this, then paste it there. Now what I want to do is go here, copy, and then I'm going to paste this part here in the description. Delete this and go sneaky. I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to go arrow, click on whatever, and then this. I'll click on this. Click on copy now. These are images. I will go to like, I don't know. I'm looking for basically a symbol, an arrow symbol. Yeah, we can go there. Look, copied. And then we'll go back to Facebook. Sorry. Go back to Facebook. Paste. Right? That's what we want. Right? Call to action that. Click next. Important. All of this is Facebook's AI. Now, these look nice and everything, but we don't want more, right? Not for right now. Maybe later in the future. But for now, we don't want them. All right. Look at this, for example. This is terrible. Right? So we'll click next. All of this, again, you guys, do you guys see what Facebook is trying to do? It's just like use my AI, use my AI. Advantage plus creative enhancement, right? So for you guys, normally, if this is your first time, all of these are going to be on. But what we want to do is just click all of them off, turn off, 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 right? Scroll down, make sure all of them are off. Scroll down, add music. Nope, off. And then we're going to click done. And then that's it. Advanced preview. These are our ads. These are our ads. So if we go here to feeds, we'll be able to see the ones basically that are going to appear on our feeds, right? Here. Boom. If you see, boom, that's our ad. That's our complete ad. Boom. That's our complete ad. And then if we go to stories and status reels, we're going to have our reels here, right? All our Instagram and Facebook reels. And this is our ad. This is our ad. We want to click save, and that's it. And then when we are ready to, when we have connected our ads to our CRM or to our Google Sheets, we want to click publish here, right? And basically, that's it. And you guys see here, we have the ad here. We got the ad here. Now, yeah, again, I'm not going to show you how to scale this right now because it's a longer process for this video, but you can understand why we have these columns, right? You can understand now why we have these columns, right? Leads, cost per result, click-through rate, amount spent, impressions, reach, right? Right, we will have a delivery. So for example, here it says in draft, but when it's actually running, you will say active, like that. It will say active. And then when you get the leads, it will say like 50 leads. And then here we'll say cost per result, and it will say $5, right? Or $5.1 US dollars. So we paid $5 for every lead. And then here, click-through rate, it will say 2%, right? And then amount spent, it will say, I don't know, $600 or whatever, doesn't matter, right? And then impressions, I don't know, 10,000 impressions or whatever. I'm just making up numbers here, right? But this is basically what you will be able to see. And the more ads you have, again, right now we are in campaigns, but here, when you click on ads here, the more ads you have, the more data you will have, right? All of this will be data. And it will be filled with these numbers, right? Active, 50, 60, 17, 20, whatever, all these cost per results. But you will be able to see which ones did well and which ones did not do well. That's basically how to use Facebook ads to grow your jewelry brand. So if you want to grow your jewelry brand and you don't know how to run Facebook ads, you don't know how to scale Facebook ads profitably, you don't know how to get a bunch of customers into your shop consistently with a systematized method, then click the link in the description of this video and I will show you click by click, just like I showed you how to place the ad in this video. I'm going to show you click by click how to get customers from Facebook from click to close.